Okay, let's start with the actual lesson. So how to use various effects and also particles in After Effects. And I'll try to make these into several shorter lessons that I record and then stop. Let's see how that goes. And yeah, Tuomo said that he experienced like some crashes on his computer when Zoom recording and After Effects were on. But now we will try to avoid 3D layers because those will take a lot of like power from the computer. But of course, if you really do want to use 3D layers, who am I to prevent you from doing that? So new project on After Effects. And we need like one first composition, new composition. And yeah, it wants to make something that's in the duration of 1 minute and 15 seconds. No, thank you. So maybe 25 seconds. Oop, 300. And I can trim that later. And then to the advanced settings, remember to put these nesting options on. Preserve resolution when nested, preserve frame rate when nested. But if you forget them, no problem. You can go back to the settings at any time. And I think I'll call this the brush because that's what I'm going to show you at first. So handwritten animated text in After Effects. The most logical place to go there would be the brush tool, right? However, the brush tool is actually a masking tool. I have to tell you that. But yes, we can also use it for making text if we want to. So writing something. And as a masking tool, it's really interesting. And in the VFX courses of next fall, we'll do more of that, I'm sure. But also, I mean, Tuomo didn't show you the brush tool on Tuesday, did he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't have the time for that. So the brush tool is a bit tricky at first, and you might notice that if you click on it and then you try to paint something, it won't work. And then people usually they get frustrated because of that, and then they, in the worst case, they just throw their computer to the wall, and or at least decide that they never will use After Effects again. But so let's see how the brush tool actually works. As I said, it's a masking tool. You need to have a layer in order to create a mask. So let's create a layer first. And I want to create something called a solid layer. And I think we have created some solid layers already. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. So it's just a solid color layer where the color doesn't actually matter because we will soon get rid of it, but let's put some color into it, and you can see that in After Effects actually can see what color you are using. What a clever program. And yeah, we want it to be the comp size, okay? And there we have a solid layer. And maybe I'll even will call it brush. So remember, you go to the brush, to the layer name, and you click enter, and then you can change the name. Then you press enter again, and now you have changed the layer name, brush layer. Okay, and now even now I won't be able to paint directly here. Oh, and please see that you have all the brush or paint settings here. So you should be seeing this paint at least, and then there's going to be other things like brushes, both of these. If you can't see these options, then you might want to go to the workspace and have all panels on. And is there like a brush thingy, like as a workspace? Can't see. Oh, there's paint. So yeah, great. There's even that. Anyway, the secret here is that you need to get to the like layer mode, which will be done by double clicking on the layer. So this is also good to know with video layers, because then you can set like an in and out point for a video layer in the like layer mode. So double click it. You might have entered the layer mode by accident at some point. So now you can see the like timeline that is only for this layer there. And now if you click on the brush and you take the Wacom or the mouse, whatever you want, let's try out. Now you see that it is taking it. And maybe I'll even take the painting workspace, and let's see if that changes anything. Paint. Yeah, I don't actually like this. So, but yeah, I think it makes sense that you have like two screens here at once. But yeah, I think I go back to the old panels. But it's up to you how you put your workspace there. Okay, so now I should be able to change the brush size. And here is where After Effects is a bit weird, because the first time you use the brush, you can't choose the brush tips selector. I really don't know why this is. Maybe it's because there's a glitch, because I think in some of the previous versions that this didn't happen. It only happens once you have tried to make, once you have made one brush stroke at least. So let's see, what should I write? Maybe high. This doesn't matter because I will change this anyway. So now I have officially two brush strokes here. And if I click play, then you will see what happens. It's there and it doesn't change at all. It's because the brush effect was on constant in the duration. So let's see what the brush actually is. It's an effect. So if I open up the brush layer, I can see that now I have an effects panel here. And I can see that it has created two paint layers within this paint effect. And brush 1 and brush 2. So these are the two strokes that I made. They are all here as like these long things. But what I would like to create now would be that the brush stroke starts from 0 and then it gradually grows. And I can do it either from here, from the settings, or I can use another duration while I'm doing it. But let's do it from here so that you can, yes, you have a problem?
I try to take feel of brush stroke, but it drags the solid
You have to get into the layer mode. So double click on the layer in the timeline so that you can see this red timeline. So I'll be there in a while, but the rest of you can, in the meantime, open these stroke options. And here you can find the starting and ending points. So you can keyframe these. So if I put an endpoint to 0 here for the first, for the second stroke, and then I keyframe here the other brush, starting also, the end will be 0. Then it goes further in time for 5 seconds, and then I keyframe it to 100. So now it will, the brush stroke will happen, and I will keyframe the other brush stroke here into where the next one will start. So one empty keyframe, and then 1 second of. And one more thing, if I don't want to see this stupid green, then I should put this paint on transparent on. And now I can see the actual background, what is there. And now you can also start experimenting with the diameter of the brush or brushes that you have made, and keyframing them, and the hardness, spacing, and so on. So you should know enough of After Effects in order to know how to do that. I'll put this for a short pause while I...
Sorry,
yes?
I missed it. How did you turn off the background?
Here, while I opened on the key timeline the effects, the paint, and then the paint on transparent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's this tiny little button. Like almost everything in After Effects, it's half hidden. Yeah, so keyframing, this is easy. You go to the end of there's the beginning and the start and end. So I changed the end to 0 at the beginning, then went and keyframed it to 100 after 5 seconds. And that's one way of doing this. And we'll see next how to use these constant durations while we are doing things. Okay, I'll put this on a short pause, this recording now. Okay, and any problems here in that pass?
I think I clicked on the wrong brush. It's just a start and end. Oh, was I not supposed to touch that? Hold on. It will be the brush strokes. Now it shows, so you have to have something physically on.
There is a video, but
I have 4 brush strokes, but I literally only did 3. Oh, no, I didn't. There's a dot in the corner of my screen. I didn't see. Oops. Yeah, that's your mistake. How can I erase this? Okay, we're good. I guess.
But you know how to get to the layer. When we make a new layer.
Okay, it's not. How can I change the color? There might be a, like, we see how the color is on my screen. So is it that you must do the start and end for every single brush stroke?
The end, yeah.
Just the end. All right. So,
Well, if you want to have it the other way around, then it's the start. But I usually use the end.
because I had put the end and then nothing since then.
So because you have two brushes. So this is the first one. The first one. So, scroll down. And so it's changed over to the one. So here.
And for example, she did 80.6. And I just don't know about the keyframes on the second. Like I see the keyframes, but I'm wondering what those dots are. Well, I'm just.
It's a bit of a weird concept, but once you need to practice it a little bit.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, no, I put the thing in now. It's like so. For example, I just did like the exact same thing. Just see what happened.
Yeah. Keep the start at 0.
So if I keep them at 0.
Yeah, and keyframe the end to 0 also.
Oh, keyframe the end. Okay, so
you need to.
Oh, so
Yeah, you need to keyframe the end.
So end here. So this is the end.
Yeah. Also, what I would do simply makes this like this. All of these were sliders.
Okay.
So I'm just pressing my mouse down. And now you have it with this keyframe. And now it's going to happen in 5 seconds.
Okay.
And there's what the other brush strokes, so you can then time them. So when this, yeah,
To start, like, to
Yeah.
have the keyframe.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and I think I didn't pause the recording, but I paused the sharing. Oh, right. So now it's been frozen for a couple of minutes on Zoom. But now I think you can hear me again. So as you might have noticed, this is a bit of a tricky concept. Adobe hasn't made it too easy for us. But once you get it, then you can start experimenting, for instance, with I could now just as I keyframed the endpoint, I could just as well keyframe the diameter of the brush or change the color of it, like so. Or make it a little bit, or change the roundness of it or the hardness. So like this. Or the angle so that it looks more like an actual brush stroke. Or I could change the spacing just like I could in any other Adobe program, but I won't be doing that now. And there's the opacity and other things and the flow. And all of these can be keyframed. And let's see if the basic brush tip selector has been activated yet. No, it hasn't, which is very strange. So maybe it's got to do with if my Wacom tablet is working or not. Let's check. Where's the Wacom pens? So, okay. I seem to have lost my Wacom pen. Great work. Okay, here's another. Pen settings. Sensitivity, yes, everything should be fine. Yep. So my Wacom settings should be okay, but it's still not showing the brushes. Is it different with you? Is it showing the brushes as like grayed out? That's the usual setting if you have a mouse. So I find this really annoying, but what can you do? We can change the brush diameter later on here anyway.
I looked it up online.
Yeah, and
There was this like, oh, I just changed the workspace from standard to original and back and forth, and then it started working, and it worked for me as well. So
it sounds like a glitch in the programming.
A lot of them start at 4 sections.
Okay, so let's try and something else now with a brush. I was talking about the duration settings here, so you might be interested in that as well. So I will just make this brush invisible for now. And by the way, those of you who are also curious about when we have lunch, I was thinking of 11:30. Is that okay? And have like 45 minutes or 40 minutes. Yes, quick question.
Thing did everything for me, but now when I press play, I have nothing visible on my screen. My brushes are invisible.
Weird.
Even though they are supposed to be visible, the eyeballs are showing.
Strange. But we're making a new brush anyway now.
Okay. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, I made this paint effect now invisible. I guess I could also make a totally new layer for this. Am I too lazy to do that? Maybe not, since this is pretty fast. So brush 2. And I made this, let's make this other layer invisible for now, and also the effect on it invisible. So now I want to use the another duration than constant here with the brushes. And if you click there and hold your mouse, then you see that there is the write on, the single frame, and the custom options. So single frame is what it says it is. It is like it gives you one single frame. That is the brush stroke. If you do custom, then you can say how many frames your brush stroke will be in length. So let's see how that works. Let's have 10 frames for the duration of each brush stroke. So now if I write maybe well, I should first remember to go to the beginning of time. I always like it. Go to the beginning of time. So let's have one single letter now. Let's say A, and I want the A to jump around. Okay. And now you can see if I scroll 10 spaces, you can see that it's made 10 here. And for some reason, why doesn't it show the okay, I'll make another one. Is this, oh, yeah, stupid error. I made the A on the other brush layer, not here. So I need to double click on brush 2, the new layer that I made. Right, so A. And now I should be seeing the brush, the first brush that it takes like 10 frames. And if I click and create a new one here, it's again 10. And I want to place these A letters apart from each other once I've drawn them, so that there's going to be this jumping around thing. There we go. Now I have 7 brush strokes of this letter A, and I will just move these in time. Maybe put them a little bit on top of each other, but not too much. And yes, I will change the color too. So let's put the paint on transparent on, so you don't have to look at red letters dancing on a like green screen. That was not my purpose. So I go back to the actual composition, and this is what it then looks like. So this is a kind of very clumsy way of making frame by frame animation in After Effects without any onion skinning or anything. But yeah, you can do that if you want to. Then I could basically make this into like a pre-comp and then use it elsewhere to let it go around and around, I guess. This clear? Let's try something else. So I'll just use backspace and get rid of the effect, and maybe also let's use another brush color. I'm pretty fed up with the red by now. So let's try out, instead of custom mode. Oh, by the way, you can see also that there are different modes here. Double click to the layer view, and then let's try out the ride on. Ride on will know how many seconds exactly your brush stroke will last. So this time I'm going to write something a bit longer, like hello maybe, and I'm going to do it really slow. Slow and beautiful. And I don't know why I'm also saying it's like so. Hello. I'm not, yeah, I'm purposefully not lifting the brush to get a long, nice brush stroke. And there it is. Hello, long and nice. So the brush stroke will take as long time as it did when you wrote it. So it recorded your brush stroke. And of course, you can go to the effects and change its time, because now it's a bit too slow for my taste, at least. So I go to the open the paint effects here in the timeline, click paint on transparent on, and then I need to find the actual keyframes. There they are. Can I already take them? No, I need to go open the stroke options and then put the end to closer place. So I didn't want it to be quite that long. At this point, I'm going to make the diameter also fatter, because I want to play a little bit with the background. And let's put the hardness into almost 100. Well, maybe not 100, but 75. So now I have a fat brush that takes, let's have it, 8 seconds. Okay, did you get this already? Before we go into the into making a background to it and making it also glow a little bit. Any questions so far? And of course, if you want the paint brush layer to disappear at some point, then you do it. You handle it just like any other layer. You make it shorter here. So no, and you can put like opacity so that it will be that there's a fade in or fade out. Here, T for opacity. So I want to change it from here, 100%. And then let's make the layer a little bit longer and 0. So now it will fade out. So first there's a hello, and then it fades. So all good? Before we make this look a little bit more interesting. Yes, there's a question.
Writing that isn't connected like this?
Or
we just usually,
well, I showed it with connected writing because I was lazy and I didn't want to handle all those letters like one by one.
Yeah, so.
So yes, it is possible to do it, but then you have to notice how it made like its own paint layer for each brush stroke. Then it needs a little bit more fiddling. But I could also show what to do if you have several brush strokes. So let's make this brush invisible for now. So this is how I put an effects layer invisible. And I go to the beginning of time and make a new brush. So double click on so that I'm here on the brush layer. And now I want to have, I'm still having the write-on effect, but let's have it in a shorter way. Let's have, what should I write? Hello again. As you notice, the letters will disappear. So I need to be a little bit aware where I'm writing. And now if I go to this paint 2 layer and see what happened. This is what happened. So it put everything in one place, and I would now need to move these layers in time. So let's see. There we go. And now it remembers the fade in that I made, and that's why it's like fading out. But yeah, that's how you would do with use the write on with several letters. And you might notice that the brush has not been created for this kind of thing, actually. It's created to be a masking tool. And that's what I actually want to show you next, like how to use this as a mask. So let's go back to the original fat hello. Oh, I think I'll call this a fat hello. And now I want to have something in the background, and I go away from the brush tool into the selection tool. Also, I'm going to, and I need to be in the composition view. I place the layer a little bit better here visually. There's my fat hello, and I want to get maybe some glow and maybe some texture on the background and on the letters themselves. That's the next step. So yeah, first I'll maybe show you the different layer styles here under when you have the layer selected, then you get the layer styles, which are pretty much the same as maybe in Photoshop. So there's drop shadow, inner shadow. We even have yeah, I was looking for an outer glow, and there it is. Yeah, there's even a gradient overlay, just like in Photoshop. Although I wouldn't quite use it like that. Okay, and now I can see that the outer glow is added here as layer styles into the timeline. So could I see it here as well? No, not a chance for that. So now I can change, for instance, the spread and the size of it. Let's change the size. So now there's a nice glow. Maybe not nice, but it glows. And I can change the color of that glow. Also, there's something less. What's the English word for räikeä? Radical? Not really, because räikeä always refers to something that is visual, or maybe audio also. Can a sound be räikeä? Perhaps. Anyway, I'm trying to use so that I still have some contrast, but it's not too horrible to watch. Because with effects, you need to be subtle sometimes, or very often, let's say that.
But I don't see any.
Okay, it might be this. The size of it might be too small. Like I had very small size, so I could hardly see anything, and that's why I went.
I need bigger butter for nothing.
Okay, are you in the composition view, or are you still in the layer view?
Oh.
Like, like a big ah. Yeah, that's you have to remember to get out of that layer view. So if you can see your timeline over here, then you're probably in the layer view.
Well, you have to glow the same color.
Yeah. So yeah, you can play with the settings here for the glow or whatever blending mode you chose. And you can timeline them or keyframe them.
Is that zero?
Okay, so now you know where to find the blending modes, right? So let's move on. Now I want to have something in the background. And as I did earlier, I will now again create a solid layer. And my mouse is, and yeah, it's Control and Y, by the way, a solid layer. I've never learned that. Maybe I should. So a solid layer, maybe something else than green, although we'll get rid of the color pretty soon, like I said earlier. There we go. And I want to make this into the background and also maybe something else. But first, let's get some effect here. I want to have a noise, but visual noise, not. And here under effects, there's something called noise and grain. And fractal noise is nice, but turbulent noise is even nicer. Also, there's add grain and dust and scratches, which are nice if you have video layers. But here I want to have like full noise, turbulent. There we go. Well, yeah, that's turbulent noise, but there's still like options that I can make. And now, now you can see that you should have the effect controls visible here. And I think we've done a couple of effects already, so you should know where they are. And now you can change this to something else and see if you like it. It's upscale, small bumps, strings, or threads. Threads look like small worms, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. Also, you can change the noise type then to something else, like splines or blocks. Or invert the whole thing. Put less contrast there. We'll be coming back to turbulent noise a couple of times. So I think I'll change it from strings, by the way, to something else, maybe rocky. Less contrast, thank you.
I didn't see the glow effect on the composition. Yeah.
Okay, there's a problem with the glow effect. Okay, I'll reset this in the meantime. Okay. Yeah, as you might notice from what I'm doing, it's easy to just start playing around with these and forget everything else. So I'll let this be like it is, and then you can also start putting some evolution there, which means that it will evolve over time, change like this, because that's what we are aiming at right now. And in the meantime, while you're playing around, come and see why the glow effect doesn't work for some people. And I'll put the put this on pause, if that works now.
Is the texture solid?
No, I don't think it works. The texture was a solid layer, yes. So I'll come see what was the problem with the glow not glowing. So, yep. Go. Okay, so please, for the first even not going to work. No, it was easy. We played paint on transparent wasn't on for the layer.
Oh, yes.
Rookie mistake, which also pros do all the time. Okay, so now I have this kind of evolution for my turbulent noise, and I'll move the layer to the background, and now, as you can see, the colors are dull, so I'll add a color effect there as well. So we have been here in the color correction before, and you know how to find the curves and the levels and the tritone. But I wanted to go and show you something a little bit different. The colorama, which at first glance will seem to you like, no, this is horrible, I will never do this. But then the colorama is not quite as horrible as that. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you, it first will look like, no, this is horrible, you will never do this. But let's see what is inside here. I'm mostly interested in this output cycle. So you can see that the preset is pretty wild, but there are other presets. Use preset palette. Let's see. There are like 25 or 30 different presets here. Let's see, ramp red, for instance. Ooh, hellish. So you can change these colors to anything you like them to be. You can move them. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Okay, it doesn't want to move now. Maybe I should press Alt to make it move. Yep.
And now.
So now for some reason it's moving. So yeah, you can change the colors as much as you like here. Or you can use some of the ready-made colors that on the palettes that are there. So this is now a little bit less gross than earlier. Yeah, okay, maybe that was not the best idea. Or so it takes a little bit of time to fiddle here, as you notice. Yeah, a bit better. Or you can just take one of these ready-made ones. Well, I said that already. And yeah, at some point you can also save your own stuff. And you can change the, like put blend with original so that the original colors or colorlessness comes through a little bit. This also will work with video layers, of course. So I'll press play and see what this looks like right now, because I have further plans for this layer. Let's go. A glowing hello. And maybe the evolution is a bit too tame now. Is it? Well, maybe a bit. I'll open up the turbulent noise again and increase the evolution settings. Or perhaps I'll just zero the evolution and make a new evolution. Okay, back to 0. Start here in the beginning of time and end at 14 seconds. And let's have like a couple of evolution rounds here, like 4. And then let's change the evolution options with change the random seed, turbulence factor so that it's more turbulent. And let's see how turbulent my evolution is. And you might notice that stylistically, I tend to be more maximalist than minimalist.
How did you get
I clicked here on the
Yeah.
like evolution rounds, like I put 4 rounds already. Is your comp feeling a little sluggish? Okay, it's not feeling sluggish. It's feeling as it should be feeling at this point. So imagine we had some apps that told us like, are you feeling a little sluggish now? Would you like to go and have some coffee? Okay, take a little nap, please. Don't know if that would be good or maybe a nightmare of some sort. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to use actually the hello text as a mask for this other layer. So I will use the track mats for that. And let's see if I can do it right on the first time. So I use the medium solid, which had all my lovely effects here. And I put track mat to the fat hello. And yes, it did do it right on the first try. And now I have a lovely hello with lots of evolution and some glow. So maybe I'll ditch the glow. That's a bit of an overkill.
Oh, no.
So do you want me to show this again? So I go back one step,
Yeah.
although visually I think I liked this more, but let's put the glow away first from the fat hello. Here, outer glow, no outer glow. And maybe I'll change the turbulent smooth to turbulent basic. Yeah, that might work better. So now I'm back on the medium solid layer that has all of this turbulence. And I click here on the track mats. If you don't see the track mat switches, then toggle the switches so that you can see them. Here, toggle switches modes. So you should be seeing the track mat. And then you tell the medium solid, the turbulence layer, that it should have a track mat from your text layer. But for me, it's the fat hello. Yeah, it looks better now. I put the glow away, so.
I don't have the evolution options, which is the turbulence factor or the random seed.
Yeah, then it won't move.
Yes, I don't have those.
But
Is there saying I must have missed beforehand for those to appear as options?
no, you can put them in at any time. So you can put them there right now if you want to. So because this is After Effects, everything is everything can be changed at all at any point. Nothing is like constant. Okay, and at this point, I want to save my project until before After Effects wants to crash. I call it hellos.
So how did you make the text the background picture?
The background texture, or how I made it to move. Which one? So yeah, I can show it with another layer because I want to have some texture layer here in the background anyway. So I created a new solid layer. We should use the Control and Y for the solid layer because the mouse is so fiddly here. So I created a new solid layer and gave it, I went here to noise and grain and gave it a turbulent noise effect. And then after that, I went to color correction and changed the colors with Colorama. And with the Colorama, I took the output cycle and took a less horrible palette.
Oh, I guess I have written. That was moving.
This is also, Colorama is also the place where you want to go if you want to make flames in After Effects. We'll see at the end of the day how to make smoke, by the way, and how to make living smoke that goes in letters. That was my last thing that I wanted to show today. Yeah, because I was pretty happy about it. Okay, so that's how I made it. Oh, that's horrible.
How did you make the text have the texture of the?
Oh, you meant that. Oh, leather. That's actually quite fine. So how I changed in the turbulent noise, I changed the evolution settings. I can do it now as well. So I go first into the beginning of time, then I click the first keyframe here for the evolution. Then I go a bit further in time to 14 seconds, and I can either turn the clock here of the evolution, or I could directly change this into two. So these are all sliders, so you need to click and hold, and then you can just slide them around. Hold your left mouse button while you slide it. It makes life very much easier in After Effects when you know how to do this. There we go. Now this was not in real time because it's rendering it. So, but now it has rendered it all, so I can press play and see it in real time or almost real time. Talking of the like play settings, these days I use them so little that I didn't even remember where to find them, but they should be somewhere here. Align audio brushes, extensions. Yes.
My background doesn't change to the like output cycle. It stays as the color.
Did you go forward in time in the timeline? Okay, I'll come to you and see what's the matter. Why am I not finding the play and pause window now? Okay, this is weird. But
think it's called-
I have to look for it later. Okay, so that was, I think, the end of this morning's session, and we'll do more in the afternoon. So I'll stop the recording at this point.